I'm a Lightworker, but I broke up with the Lightworker community. Here's why. I still consider myself a Lightworker because the ideas of energy work and holding a high-frequency collective resonates deeply with me in so many ways. But there's a shift that needs to happen. At first, I was all in. The global meditations, the collective circles, the energy healing work, the astrological portal days, the manifestation of collective timelines, and energy activations at sacred sites. It felt like I had found a portal to another dimension, one where everyone believed in something bigger, dreamed of something greater, and spoke the language of energy with a vibration of truth and connection. But then I realized that for most people, the Lightworker identity was all just smoke and mirrors. Everyone was talking about timelines, but no one was actually creating their own path. Everyone was waiting for ascension, but no one was actually creating real-world change. Everyone was trying to heal and save humanity, but no one was integrating their own loops. Everyone was wanting to activate sacred sites, but no one was activating their own embodiment. At the root of it all was deep victimhood, masking itself as a savior complex. Victimhood about trauma, money, politics, the world, society, the pain, the suffering, how hard life is, whatever. I kept thinking, does no one see that we're here to change the world, not escape it? That's the whole point. And unless we release the victimhood and step into empowerment as creators, nothing will change. It's up to us. Don't get me wrong, the Lightworker community taught me a lot, and I still believe that we should anchor frequencies of higher consciousness. I still travel to sacred sites for ceremonies, but I also see what the community has turned this into. This victim trap that inflates the ego of emotionally wounded people who can't see past their own suffering. I watched people theorize about life rather than actually live life, like a business professor that's never actually started a business. I saw enough of that shit in college, so why is that here too in a place where people profess to be bringers of light, illuminators of truth, or guides of humanity's ascension? But no one was actually taking the steps to build those visions. There was so much talk and so little real movement. I watched people loop, labeling their emotional wallowing as self-expression and evolution. I watched people obsess over the identity of being a Lightworker rather than actually illuminating their own shadow with light. I watched people chase ascension rather than embody their own power. It's almost worse than organized religion. At least they build something, but these damn Lightworkers won't stay focused long enough to see anything through. I watched people talk about great visions, but the moment it's time to show up and build, they've got more healing to do, or the energy is too intense, so they stay in bed for a week telling themselves they're getting activated with downloads or having ascension symptoms. But the only thing getting activated is their avoidant self-sabotage patterns, giving them something else to stay busy with. It's a clever and often subconscious excuse to avoid accountability. I watched people avoid discomfort and be coddled by everyone around them, perpetuating these behaviors. I watched people bypass any form of ownership or self-accountability, and I watched the community enable and cheer them on for wearing their victim loops like badges of honor. And worst of all, the coddling. Coddling disguised as divine flow. Procrastination disguised as manifestation. Self-loathing disguised as healing. Judgment disguised as liberating people. Apathy disguised as love and light. Escapism disguised as ascension. But you know what you can't escape? Nature. Nature is light in materialized form. It's the literal light works. Nature is connected, but nature is not soft. It is rigorous, unforgiving, and direct. And I realized the most illuminated thing I can do is create, build, and expand. The most aligned thing I can do is show the fuck up even when I don't feel like it. At the core of our own true nature, we are creators, but most of the Lightworkers will do anything to avoid actually creating. They'll tell any imaginable story to excuse them from embodying their power and taking ownership of their reality and actions. And when called on it, they'll invent spiritual battles to fight so they can continue the victim loops with their savior identity. And that's not what the world needs. The world needs creators who are committed to seeing what needs to change within themselves and then changing. The world needs builders who are willing to see what needs to change in the world and then go build whatever is needed to fucking change it. But the people who change the world the most are not the most spiritual or enlightened. They're the most consistent. They're the most committed and devoted to their mission. They're the most tolerant of extreme discomfort. And mostly, they're entrepreneurs. They build businesses with purpose. They craft empires out of divinely inspired ideas. And they don't wait for alignment. They create alignment through action. Now, don't get me wrong. I still love the roots of the Lightworker ideology, and I'll never knock a good global meditation, collective timeline manifestation portal, or a solid breathwork journey. For fuck's sake, I teach people how to use meditation and energy work to level up all the time. I've hosted global activations with thousands of people, and I've built a community of over 3,000 lightworkers across 6 continents. But let's stop pretending that's the only work that matters. The lightwork practices are for expansion of self, to integrate and embody your divine power, to align you for action, to build the bridge between the inner world and the outer one, bringing our divine power into the real world. The Lightworker paradigm taught me how to open my heart and see a bigger picture. But to be honest, I've had to step back to learn how to actually impact the world. And that's what the reality creation process is to me. It's my process for embodying the energy of radical creation. If you're still here, you're probably nodding your head and you've probably walked a similar path. It's time to build, so let's fucking build. And if you want my help breaking out of the loops and embodying your creative power, I've put something at the link in my bio for you, right up here or right down here. It's time to break the cycles, activate your source code, and build like the creators were meant to be. See you guys on the flip side.